We're going to change Kim Horcher's name to the lovely and brilliant Kim Horcher.
My parents will love that.
She joins us, of course. She's the host of Nerd Alert and today the host of Twitter Storm. What do you have for us, Kim?
Well, welcome back, Cenk. It's good to have you back, first of all.
Thank you.
It's like Dad's home. And on that note, our first question comes from Mike, who says, I know, where has Cenk Uygur been this week? Where?
Where? Good question. I was in New York. I was filming Dream School for Sundance TV. That's probably going to come out in the fall. I'll tell you about it when it's about to come out. It's 15 students. They're troubled students, and I went to go teach them. Celebrities normally teach them. I don't know why they invited me, but 50 Cent, Oliver Stone, Jesse Jackson, etc. Both Anna and I are doing it, and it was one of the most challenging things I've done. If you're a member to the show, I explained in the postgame last night that I was really rattled. That was not an easy job. So you'll see that in the fall. All right, next.
Next comes from CM Conglomeration. What's LL, I assume Lawrence Lessig's, MayOne Super PAC to end all other Super PACs? Isn't that Wolfpack HQ? What's the deal with that?
Good question. No, it's slightly different. They're actually trying to raise $1 million, which will then be matched by another $1 million. So they have a lot more resources at their disposal than we do if they can get up to $1 million. And I really, really support it. I think you should support it. I'm going to put money in, and if you can, that'd be great too. They have a slightly different way of attacking the problem, which actually was the first thing that we were going to do at Wolfpack, which is to challenge the politicians and say, if you're not on our side and you vote against us, we're going to come for you. Well, I love that. So it's a great strategy. Larry Lessig's an incredibly important player in this movement, and I love that he's got another PAC running alongside of ours for the same mission in just a slightly different way, but a way that I totally endorse. All right, next.
Next comes from Daniel Menahan. Will Republican voters want constitutional amendment because it limits union-bought politicians too?
Yes, absolutely. So sometimes conservatives will criticize Wolfpack and say, oh yeah, you want to limit corporate money, I bet you don't want to limit union money. Wrong, we do. I would get rid of all money in politics. I don't want the union buying off my politicians any more than I want a corporation buying them off. Next.
William Sutton asks, I have need for meme-style pictures of you, Anna, etc. Demand it? Hashtag, of course. Hashtag, go. Hashtag, let him go. Hashtag, oh my gosh, I jump in. Titillating and more. Help. Help.
Okay, I don't quite know what that means. But if you want to do memes of us, have at it, Hoss. I love that. So usually people take stills from the show. So if you want, I could make different funny faces for you and you can make memes out of it. I don't even know what else to do. That was my 2 funny faces. That's all I got. All right, next.
Okay. Tim Gruber asks, do you know why What the Flick uses decimals for scores rather than whole numbers?
So that's a great question. I love questions like this because I insisted on it. I was one of the original hosts of What the Flick, and I still do the Game of Thrones reviews. But when me, Ben, Matt Atchity, and Christy Lemire started it, we had a couple of different options, and I said, no, I love the decimal system. I don't want to know if it's just a 4 out of 4 stars or 3 out of 4 stars. That's not enough. I want to know if it's 8.7 or 7.2. So I'm the one to blame. Okay, next.
Jenny Sederquivist asks, it would be awesome to see you interview George R.R. Martin. It would. Any chance this could happen?
I don't know. Ask George R.R. Martin. Yeah, I'd love to interview him. But you know what? Honestly, I hadn't thought of that. So I will have Malcolm, who runs TYT interviews, put in a request. We'll ask him to come on. And if you guys help along in that process, that'll be great. Next.
Bitchy Gay Guy asks, what would it take to convince your dad to tweet along with the show? The Twitter feed needs some more. What is this?
Well, that's ironic, because if my dad tried to sign up to Twitter, he would say, what is this? I'm just lucky he watches the show online, man. I'll take it and take that victory and go home. Let's leave Twitter out of it for my dad. Next.
Michael Napian asks, do you think Barack Obama became a corporatist before or after 2008? Was it all a marketing scheme?
God, that's such a good question, Michael. Look, I don't think that Barack Obama wakes up in the morning, looks at himself and say, way to go, corporatist. Right? I think that he thinks he's bringing us change, the 2% change that he's so proud of and all of that. He does the bidding of his donors just because he thinks, well, what else can I do? He believes that that's the system. He believes in the system. And so he has to sleep at night. I don't think he thinks he's a corporatist at all, but that is a clear result of his actions. But he probably, if you told him, would be outraged. But if you look at every single thing he's done, that is a clear result. And it's because we built a system where he is beholden to the people who put him in office, which are his donors. Next.
Daniel Weir asks, once we've gotten money out of politics, what's the first piece of legislation that you want to see that could not be passed now?
Well, I used to say financial regulation, real financial regulation, not that weak sauce Dodd-Frank that still has not been largely implemented, because I'm afraid the bankers are going to blow up the global economy. But now I would actually say net neutrality is number one in importance. So I don't know that you actually don't need legislation on it, but since Obama won't do the right thing, I mean, I'd pass legislation just to make sure. Next.
Mike asks, if FCC's rules go through, does that mean we are completely screwed?
Yeah, that's on the issue of net neutrality, and that has a clear answer. Yes. So you've got to fight those rules tooth and nail with everything you got. Next.
Aldeville asks, what is your favorite sci-fi franchise?
Okay, fun question. It's Star Trek: The Next Generation. There's a bunch of sci-fi enterprises that I like, Battlestar Galactica, all of the Star Treks, but Next Generation is one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Sorry. Next.
You watched BSG?
Please.
Oh? Okay, I'll move on. Flint's Doubting Tom asks, why aren't the tough questions being asked about Voltraax? It's a national tragedy.
Well, that's because we're the ones trying to cover up Voltraax. For those of you who missed that show, it's a fake controversy about the Young Turks, and we've been trying to avoid the Voltraax thing. Wait, no, what were we trying to do? We're trying to get the conservative, I forget. You know, there's like those talking points like Benghazi, Solyndra, where the Republicans have no idea what they mean, but they're like, Obama with the Solyndra, right? Yeah, Republicans with the Voltraax. Okay, next.
That sounds real. Michael Napin asks again, you ever use your catchphrases in real life or only on the show? Of course, Hasikdala.
So another great question by Michael. Michael really killed it today. Yeah, of course I do. Of course! I didn't make them up for the show. It's not like we had a meeting where we're like, okay, what should we go with? Of course? Of course? Well, of course! That's what I use in real life. I mean, the number of times I say Hasikdala in real life is far more than I say it on the show. That's how I actually talk. That's how we do the show. All right. Kim Horcher, everybody check her out on Nerd Alert. Thank you so much.
Do that.
And it has been a Twitter Storm.